Hey guys, thanks for watching a Jaguars United video. I'm Jason. I'm here with you with the top 5 picks at number 25. Jaguars have the 25th pick in the draft, and we're going to be discussing my top 5 players at that position. I'm going to be looking at realistically who's going to be there. So I'm not talking like all-world players. I'm talking about realistically who will be at 25 in my countdown of the top 5. Before we jump into it, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. All of those things. It's going to be a great time, so you can let us know what you think. Let's jump right into it. The first guy I want to talk about is Alijah Vera-Tucker, and the reason why he's number 5 on my list is because he really is a player that is projected to go higher than 25. Now, there's so many offensive linemen in this draft, especially tackles, and it's such a hot commodity that we don't really know how this is going to shake out as far as who's going to go where. But there's a chance he could fall to us. Like, a lot of mocks have him in 20, 25, maybe a little bit higher than 20 range. But, I mean, again, you never know. Left tackle this year at USC. He played left guard the year before. A 2-year starter. I mean, when he was at guard as a junior, he was like USC's best offensive lineman. He allowed 1 sack, like 7 pressures, I think, on the entire year. And he moved over to left tackle this year and still was very good. At 6'4", 300 pounds. Very, very athletic player. I mean, especially in pass protection. His kick step is amazing, especially against speed rushers. And when you're bringing in Trevor Lawrence, you got to protect him on the left side of his edge. Now, obviously, this would mean Cam Robinson's not going to get re-signed. I think a lot of people kind of think that already. But he's a guy that you could probably plug in immediately, and he could become a starter right away. If you wanted to go free agency, I still think he's a good pick because he has the ability to play guard, and a lot of people project him to be a guard at the NFL level. But he gives you solid depth and versatility at that position. I like him in the run game. I mean, he strikes defenders in the run game. Again, he's got a great pass set and great pass protection. His UCLA film was good. His Oregon film was good. His Utah film was really good. And I just really like this player. And if he falls to us at 25, I think he ends up being the best available player at that position. At number 4, I have LSU wide receiver Terrence Marshall Jr. Now, I know this is a guy that played second fiddle to guys like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson at his time at LSU, but you got to remember that they're going to want to get help for Trevor Lawrence. Urban Meyer loves wide receivers. You never have too many skilled wide receivers, and I think this team is one wide receiver away from Urban Meyer being happy enough with the skill positions he has around Trevor Lawrence to pair with DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault. At 6'3", 200 pounds, he was the number 2 player coming out of high school in 2018. Wisely chose LSU because the offense there was amazing. And in only 7 games in 2020, he averaged over 100 yards per game. He got double-digit touchdowns again for the 2nd year in a row. And what I like about him is his versatility in the offense. He can play out toward the boundary. He can play in the slot. And that's what Urban Meyer really, really likes out of his wide receivers. My favorite thing about him is his ability to like change speed and accelerate in and out of his routes. Like, that's something that's just amazing. He's got good footwork. Another thing that Urban Meyer is huge on is footwork, being able to release at the line of scrimmage off of the jam. He's going to need to kind of clean up some drops he had and some down the field blocking for sure. Those are things that Urban's definitely going to want to get on him about. But I mean, those are things that can easily get cleaned up. I think if he has a good pro day and he can kind of show his ability to kind of make it at the next level in those reps there, then I think teams are going to fall in love with him. And I think he's a perfect guy that you can put in there to basically spread out the offense, make this offense just multi-dimensional with just another athlete to put out there. At number 3, we have one of Jaguar fans' favorite prospects, defensive tackle Christian Barmore out of Alabama. We ran a poll on Twitter, and this was one of the top prospects that people wanted, mainly because of the reason why I like defensive tackles so much is based off how disruptive they are. Barmore is one of the most disruptive tackles coming out of the draft this year, and the fact that he's being projected to 25 is just amazing to a lot of Jags fans. The reason why he's projected so low in the draft is because he really wasn't even an every down player this year. He's only a redshirt sophomore, but he is very disruptive from that 3 technique. He's what we would call a penetrating 3 technique, and he can get into the backfield. He had 3 forced fumbles, 6 sacks last year. And at 6'5", 310, he's incredibly hard to block. One of the best things about him is that he knows how to use his hands. It's hard to get an offensive lineman's hands on the inside of his pads and his jersey because he's so good with the swim move. He can beat one-on-one blocking very, very easily. He still needs to work on his double team I don't know how he would fit in a like one technique nose tackle. If the Jags went 3-4, I don't know how he would do there. He could move over to that 3-tech head up. But again, you got to remember in a 3-4 defense, those players are getting double teamed a lot. And Barmore needs to show that he can defeat double teams, and that may prevent him from being drafted high. Yet, he could be a great project player, and I think the Jags would have a great player if they worked on their defensive line. It's no secret that their defensive line was pretty bad last year, and they need to upgrade the interior of it, and Barmore could be the perfect fit to do that. So, although I'm more of a fan of addressing the offense, Barmore would be the best defensive player, I think, available at that spot. At number 2, I have our second Alabama player in a row, and it's Alex Leatherwood, the left tackle. And I got to be honest with you guys, when I first was compiling this list and I was looking at who I was going to place where, I had Leatherwood at like 4 or 5. I wasn't sold on him. There's a lot of red flags at him being available at 25 in almost every single mock draft. But then I started looking at his film, and I was just absolutely blown away. Just how smooth he is. That's something that's big to me when I'm evaluating offensive linemen is how smooth are you? He isn't great with his hands, and he could get stronger, in my opinion, and play with more power. But the dude is an absolute beast. At 6'6", 312, he has the ability to put on a lot more weight, a lot more strength. I mean, he was basically the anchor for one of the greatest offenses that the college football has ever seen. He gave up 2 sacks the entire season. He gave up 3 pressures on the entire season. He only had 2 penalties. I mean, that's mind-blowing to me. I mean, he was just amazing all year long. He was first team All-SEC. He was a finalist for the Outland Trophy, and he's just a guy that I really think could come in right away and be a day one starter on this Jaguars roster. And he's just the perfect player to me at number 25. He's great in pass protection. He's great in the run. He just knows how to do it. He also helped the Alabama. I mean, their entire line worked well together. They won the Joe Moore Award, which is like the greatest offensive line unit. And he was the left tackle on that unit. And if you looked at the way he run blocks and look at the way he protected Mac Jones all year, and that's a guy that could come in and protect Trevor Lawrence. Look, we can't afford to have a lame duck left tackle. It's too important a position. You got to have a guy that can handle speed rushers, that can handle bull rushers, can handle stunts and twists. And Leatherwood showed over and over again that he can do that. Perfect prospect at 25. I hope he doesn't get snatched up by someone evaluating him higher, but man, at 25, Alex Leatherwood would be an absolute steal in my opinion. And at number 1, I have Florida wide receiver Kadarius Toney. And just to put it out there for you guys, I am not a homer. I don't care where any of these guys go to college. Just because I live in Florida doesn't mean I was biased. I am in love with Kadarius Toney's game. When I first started this list, much like Leatherwood, I had Toney not even in the list at 5 potentially. And I started watching his film, and I was like, holy crap, this guy would be perfect in this Urban Meyer spread offense. Bear with me here. The dude is 6 foot tall, about almost 200 pounds. He had 70 receptions for 984 yards and 10 touchdowns, which doesn't like jump off the page to you as like absolutely stunning. But you got to remember, he's on this field with Kyle Pitts, who's probably going to be a top 10 technically receiver, in my opinion, in the draft. So the dude was playing second fiddle to one of the best tight ends in college football and was still able to put up amazing stats. He can make plays at the backfield as a running back. He can make plays spread out. He can make plays as the slot receiver. I mean, the dude has it all. And you put him with DJ Chark, you put him with Laviska Shenault, James Robinson. I mean, he is going to be an explosive player that will give Trevor Lawrence the ability to rack up yards, get confidence on dump offs, on short slants, screens, and things like that. His ability to get yards after the catch is amazing. He's just an absolutely dynamic wide receiver. Elite balance. He's an elite vertical 9 fly route runner. When he stems his routes in or out, it's just one of the best I've ever seen do it. I mean, the guy is absolutely amazing, and he realistically may again get drafted higher. I mean, all these guys, after watching the film, I can see scouts looking at them and being like, you know what? He needs to go higher than where he's being mocked. Right now, he's being mocked at the Jags pick, and I think he would be absolutely perfect in this offense. And I think he would just serve Trevor Lawrence just a service being in that offense. I mean, he made Kyle Trask look all world with his ability to catch the ball and create yards after the catch. He's explosive. He's dynamic. He can play special teams. Can just do it all, and I think he is the absolutely perfect fit, and I think he's the perfect thing the Jaguars need this year. They'd be set on offense, figure out a tackle in the free agency, and just go out and give Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence, just another weapon to just make this Jaguars offense through the roof and to see huge gains in 2021. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of you guys out there. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the picks. Let me know who you would take at those positions and who are your top 5. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all those things. We do live shows all the time, so make sure you're subscribed so you get notifications for the live shows. We love you guys so much, and as always, go Jags.